Hello, everybody, and good evening to you. I have Krista here with me, and we are just going to be talking about Go for Gold for just a couple minutes. The reason that we do these lives and these videos, you guys, is because I do not want you to ever have to take my word for anything. I don't want you to have to just believe me, and when I say like this stuff works and da 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 da, like I don't want for you to just have to believe me. I would prefer you get to hear other people and what they're actually going through, and what's working for them, and maybe like different areas of being stuck, and if this was helpful. Because at the end of the day, you guys, I don't want to spend time or money. Like, to me, time is just as valuable as money, right? Like, I don't want to waste time on something that isn't actually going to be helpful to me. I've taken way too many courses. I've read way too many books that by the end of it, I was like, I'm now out 2 or 3 hours and no better for it. And there's nothing that irritates me more than that. Is like wasting my time. So if you're able to watch these testimonials, see what they're doing for people, and it keeps you from wasting your time, like maybe if it doesn't seem like something for you, that's totally cool. But if it does, then you'll know that like that you're good. You know you're good. You're not going to be wasting your time. Also, just know I'm not a big fan of fluff. I am like the fluff free zone where I'm not gonna say more than needs to be said. That said, I'm done talking. So so Krista, how long have you been with Young Living?
Since 2015, so 5 years now.
Wow. So what is your whole story? Like, did you join Young Living to build a business, or was it something that you kind of got nurtured into? How'd that work?
So I had no idea about Young Living. It was my ex boyfriend's mother that actually got me interested in it. She actually sent me a kit. She was like, I want you to try something. Are you willing to try it if I send it to you? Make you guys healthier. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. She sent it to me, and I opened it up and kind of looked at it. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I didn't really touch it for a little bit. I was just like, don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
And then our silver leader actually reached out to me and was like, oh, hi, hey, I'm Kelly. Like, how's it going? And then she just like made me start getting into it. She's like, okay, look at this, one a day. And I should have known like what oils were, because my dad is actually a massage therapist. And looking back, I've had experiences with oils like as a child, which totally funny story, separate time. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I know what this is now. It's starting to like ring some bells. So then she's like, you need to get on Essential Rewards. Took her a couple months to convince me. She pestered me over and over again, and I wish I would have listened like from day one.
Right.
Nonetheless, got on it a couple months later, and then she's like, all right, you're doing the business. You don't have a choice. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And that's when I started the business.
Well, dang. All right. That is something. So, so you started the business after what, like 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, I think it was probably maybe
or when she reached out
4 or
to
5
you.
months. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. She got me on Essential Rewards, and she's like, all right, now you're doing the business. She started placing, people under me, giving me the opportunity to sponsor them.
Oh, good.
And then
Yeah.
she's like, let's get this going. So I was like, okay. And then it was less than a year, and I hit executive just like that. It was really quick,
Yeah.
which I didn't understand the numbers or anything. I just knew I was getting a paycheck, and I was like, well, this is cool. This is sweet. And then I kind of stopped at one point. After I got that, I actually went on the Global Leadership Cruise, which I'm trying to remember when that actually was. I don't know what year that was. Maybe that was 2015. That was June. Yeah, so I think I was only in it for a little bit of time. So I got my kid actually in 2014, and then I started like being into it 2015. She won the cruise and invited me to go with her.
Oh, cool.
And so I was like, oh, this is sweet. So I like kind of got on it, and then at one point life hit and I stopped.
Yeah.
And then it kind of was like just staying there. And then I found your program. Well, from a friend, actually.
Yeah. So how were you sort of taught? I assume that you were probably taught to build in a duplicative manner, like how she did, like to reach out to people and get them to open their stuff and tell them they're a builder.
It was interesting. She taught me what she knew, and I mean, I didn't do a great job of listening at first. It was just like, yeah, whatever. I was kind of like, off in different worlds and whatnot. And so she taught me, she's like, you need to make sure you educate people. So that's one of the really great things she did was teach people education. But then I didn't know the other side of like really building relationships with people. So I was very much just like on my Facebook, like oils, like here's everything right in your face. And then, I stumbled onto, my friend showed me your stuff. And then I was like, oh no, what have you done?
Oh, not everybody has that moment where they're like, because that's every YL, it's every oil person, not even just YL. It's every oil person ever is like, oils everywhere. And then whenever they see my stuff, they're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
How do I take all that off, right? Like,
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was eye-opening. It was just like, oh my gosh. So that was she started showing me your stuff in, I think, January, February time. And she actually lives by you. Like, I think she lives an hour south of you or something.
Oh, who is it?
Deb Swans.
Oh, yeah.
I always say her last name wrong. So sorry, Deb. Your last name's always going to get me. But yeah. So she's like, Martha this and that on occasion, show me some stuff. And then Martha pulled me while you guys were at some event. I think it was in February. And I was like, oh. And so she's like, listen for a little bit, see what she's having to say. And I was like, okay, what I'm doing is not working because, life hit me, things slowed down. And I was just kind of flatlining. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to stay at my job. I need something different. Like, I have to do this. And so she's like, all right, do Go for Gold. And so I'm like, okay. So I got it when it was on your sale that you had. And I was like, all right, I'm doing this. And then things just started to get rolling from there.
Yeah. Well, it starts not feeling like work as much, right? And then once you get intentional with like the stuff that you're doing, it's like, well, this is very easy now. Like I know we're not supposed to say easy in network marketing because like the FTC is like, well, you can't say that's easy, but like in comparison, in contrast to not knowing anything about what to do, it makes it easy.
It does. It is. I feel so much less stressed. And now I'm like, okay, all my team members need to get on board here. It was such a change. And now I'm seeing, how they're doing things, I'm starting to now pull them into your program now that I'm like getting the ball rolling. Yeah. And I see what they've been doing. I'm like, you were doing what I was doing. Stop, please stop. See Martha, go see Martha.
Right. Because we culturally set the tone for our entire organization, right? So the cool thing is that today can be the turnaround for anybody. So like if anybody's watching this right now and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that. How do I change it? Can I change it? The answer is absolutely yes. You just change it. And it starts today, and then moving forward, your business is different. And you can do it's that easy. People will forget about this very quickly. Yeah. Because there's so many things going on. Yeah, totally.
I've got a builder on my team, and we were actually laughing about this because before I was like, you really need to like Go for Gold, get this started. And I explained to her, I was like, when I started this, I feel like I was like on this cruise ship and I was like, okay, this is great. I'm getting the ball rolling. Things are fun. Things are great and good. And then I was kind of left on this island when I got off on, one of these stops, and the boat was like leaving and I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll catch it. And the boat totally left without me. I was on it at first and then I was like, oh my gosh. So then, your program came along and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a second boat. We're getting on this right now and we're not going to miss it. And she's like, Other people probably don't realize that, but they're like, oh, you have a boat? And I'm like, yes, this is a second boat. We're getting on it now.
Yeah, we're not letting this one pass by. We're not going to be talking to
exactly.
volleyballs the rest of our life, right? Like, yeah, we are totally.
Yes. No more Wilsons.
Oh my word, that is hilarious.
Yep.
So what would you say is like one of the biggest changes in your own organization with Go for Gold? Whenever you change to Go for Gold and you're doing that, like what's one of the biggest changes in your business, in your organization, whatever you want to say?
I'd say there's two different things in it. If we're talking like stat wise, I mean, my stats have gone up so much. I've got them on my screen here. I was looking at it and I was like,
Ooh,
have it
share.
on the back here.
You should totally
So
share with us.
January, I was at 2,000 OGB, and that was kind of where I was staying. I mean, like I said, gone up and down, but so January 2000, this year I am projecting over 4,000 already. So that's good. Back up to executive again. And I haven't re-ranked in, oh man, I don't even know how long. And I'm like, I need to re-earn my pin, you know what I mean? So
Yes. So you're re-ranking, and when was the last time you were executive? Was it 2015?
yeah, I think it was 2015. I kind of topped off there, and then I just let things kind of slide. And I'm like, I'm not exec anymore, really. I mean, you always keep your rank, but I'm like, I want my numbers to show that. So now I'm like,
Right.
I'm
Card
going to be
carrying rank.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's swagger.
So that'd be the biggest one. And then it was nice. I took some of your, advice and the different tasks in the groups and went over and did, my percentages for my ER and whatnot and broke those down. And I'm already at over 57% of my own personally enrolled on ER. And it was like 26% before. So I'm like, yes.
Oh my goodness. 26, because I'm going to be using these in titles. 26 to 57?
57, yeah.
And that's personally enrolled. That's insane. I love it.
It's been an awesome change. And I mean, my mindset has been, that's the other big part of it, is my mindset was just like, whoop, like just completely changed. It's just, I'm having conversations with people, and the things that you say, I'm like, yes, I know this. I'm like, but why haven't I been doing this?
Right.
Like, it's like common sense that we don't have, like, I don't know what goes on in our brains, but it's like, you should know these things. You should know to have a conversation with people. I think it's just the way the world's changed. It's like, we don't know how to have that communication with people. And we're just like going through the motions. And you're like, all right, let's bring us back to this focus. We're going to like have real conversations with people and like talk to people and share real life and be people.
Hey, let's be people, guys.
Right?
Yeah, like let's be human. Let's just be real. Let's be real online. Oh my word, I love it. What would you say to someone? I'll just say, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence, who's like, I don't know if no, let me ask you something else real quick before I say that. Were you ever on the fence? Were you ever like, is this another one of those things? Because I felt that way about different things all the time.
Oh yeah, I was. And there was two things that kind of got me off of that. One, or let's say, let me back up here. So one was because of pricing. Like you said, you spend all this money on stuff and you're like, okay, that doesn't work. And I'm like, I pinch pennies. I'm frugal. I don't have an extra, 50, 100, whatever it is to spend on things. And I got it when it was at 67, which was freaking awesome deal on it. I was like, okay, I can swing that. I signed one person up and that essentially covers it. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it. If this doesn't work, then like I kind of made a pact with myself. If this doesn't work, then I'm done buying anything else. So
many people say that with Go for Gold. It's
yeah.
starting to freak me out because I'm like, oh man, everybody's hanging their hat, but I'm
no
confident
pressure
that you guys are okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's another thing where I'm just like, it's all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. So I started watching some of your videos, your lives and stuff, and I was like, oh, she's so much of like a red blue personality, and I'm like that. Like I come off really strong with people, but I'm like, you really can't make excuses if you're going to do this business. Like you you just can't. Like, if you sit back and make these excuses, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just not. And you were just so like upfront and like, sorry, this is the real deal. If you don't like it, then this isn't for you. Do something else. So I was like, oh, because most people that do these videos, you know, you go on to YouTube and watch videos, they're like, oh, it's butterflies and unicorns and rainbows. And you're like, that's not real life. This is not real life at all. So I love like you're like, this is the program. This is how it's going to go. You know, you got that blue in there, but then you're like, and if you don't do it, tough luck. So I was like, oh, I can do this. Yeah, I like her. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing it.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm so glad you did. So what would you say to somebody else that's on the fence then?
Just do it. Like, I mean, I've looked into your other programs and like, you got to do something. Like, if it's not Go for Gold, like do a program, but just, man, like, I don't even know, words can't even explain it. It's just, your mindset will just completely shift from like this, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Like, I can't keep up to like, okay, I can do this. And if it doesn't work, here's why it's not working, and here's what I need to do next in order to make it work. Like, there's not this wondering of what am I doing wrong. You're just, okay, you're gonna trust the process. You're gonna plant these seeds and realize it's gonna take some time to start fresh with this mindset. But as soon as you get the ball rolling, you're just gonna keep going, and it's gonna work.
Yes. Oh my word. Well, that's it. That's absolutely it. In a nutshell, that was all of it. Yeah, people are saying like mindset shift. Yes, exactly. That's it. That's exactly it. And whenever you know, when you have a system that's broken down into do this, do that, do this, do that, you understand that if you're not doing this and you're not seeing results, it's very likely because you're not doing this, right? Like it's kind of, you can't not do this, not get results and be like, this doesn't work. Like, no, well, you're not doing it, right? Like, so that's it. It's so
accountability.
It's simple. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We made a joke, me and one of my friends, because I told her, you know, you got to get into this program. She's like, okay. So I was like, with the Ningxia, because I love Ningxia too. It's like huge, one of my, you know, top products, of course. So I'm like, we're going to go on a trip when you guys hit like this certain rank, and I'm going to pay for it for you guys because, you know, why not extra incentive? And I said, we're going to get matching shirts that says, first we drink the Ningxia, then we do the things.
Yes. Yes. Those should be your convention shirts for next year. First
that'd be awesome.
That would be really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Krista, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but hey, I appreciate you coming on and talking about Go for Gold. Totally appreciate it. You have an awesome night.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for the program. It's awesome.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for thanking me. Everybody, have an awesome night, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye-bye.